Here's Brody Brazil.
We're coming up on 6 full months since the A's announced their intentions of relocation to Las Vegas. But lately it sure feels like the more time passes and we still don't have, an ultimate resolution, the more things get uncovered, the more things we realize about this process that maybe we never would have thought about before, including this. Is Las Vegas right now actually made for and tuned into Los Angeles Dodgers fans way more than anything else in the coming years, no matter what? This is an article that was published by the LA Times. Of course, their viewpoints, their perspectives, their takes on this are going to be a little bit SoCal slanted. And that's fine, but there are still some pretty interesting takeaways and interviews that they've done as part of this piece. Their headline questions: are the Athletics moving into Dodgers territory? Why Las Vegas feels true blue. Jorge Castillo put this out yesterday. And it begins with the backstory of the Dodgers' Game 1 playoff loss. The Diamondbacks beat them big time on the scoreboard. Clayton Kershaw was a disaster in his start on the mound, so that's kind of the setup to what you're about to read here. And we begin. The disappointment, of that game and score, extended to fans in places far and wide beyond Los Angeles. The Dodgers are more than a flagship Major League Baseball franchise. They are a lifestyle brand. They have fans, casual and diehard, seemingly everywhere. But there is perhaps no more loyal enclave outside Southern California than the Las Vegas metropolitan area, where an exodus of Angelenos over the decades has made the booming big town feel more and more like a Los Angeles suburb. And that's no surprise, right? The distance, the drive, it's very short. Las Vegas to Los Angeles, to me, feels kind of like Tahoe to Northern California and the Bay Area. Almost like it's not yours, but you kind of claim it as this is our neighbor, so to speak. So again, no surprise that that's the Los Angeles perspective on Las Vegas. And in the near future, when exactly remains unclear, the Oakland Athletics are poised to move into this unofficial Dodgers market where their fan base will pale in comparison. The A's fan base in Las Vegas will pale in comparison to what the Dodgers already have in Southern Nevada. Quote, if you did a research study, you would find that the Dodgers are by far the most popular team in Vegas. Jimmy Kimmel told the Times in a phone interview. And I think it's going to take the A's a long time to change that. End quote. Side story, I digress. Who would have thought that we've reached the Jimmy Kimmel phase of A's potential relocation to Las Vegas? Whoever thought that Jimmy Kimmel, the late night entertainer, would be weighing in on this subject? But hey, quite a get by the LA Times. And as you'll see here, his perspective is not just from the LA side of things. He's got great roots in Las Vegas. He understands this perhaps as much as anybody. Kimmel is perhaps the most famous Las Vegas Dodgers fan. The late-night talk show host was 9 when his family moved there from Brooklyn, where his father was a Dodgers fan before the franchise relocated across the country. Kimmel said he was initially a New York Mets fan, but since only Dodgers games were broadcast locally on TV and the radio, he switched allegiances. Quote, so I became a Dodgers fan, Kimmel said, because that's just what we did in Las Vegas, end quote. And I think that part right there offers historical perspective. This isn't something new and trendy as the Dodgers have become prominent again in the last handful of years. This goes back decades, to when Jimmy Kimmel was a kid, to the point that the Dodgers are truly ingrained in Las Vegas, maybe more than a lot of us actually realize. As for baseball, Las Vegas has become a hotbed with an influx of natives, headlined by Bryce Harper reaching the majors in recent years. The Las Vegas Aviators, the A's AAA club, have been one of the biggest draws in the minors since opening their new ballpark in 2019. Hang on a second. You know I've got something to say. Last season, the affiliate led the Pacific Coast League in attendance. This year, their 11th sellout of the season came on July 4th in 114-degree heat. Okay, stop the clock. right there. We got to talk about this. It's been very well documented in multiple places, but especially here on this YouTube channel. There are huge differences between paid attendance, actual attendance, and announced attendance for Las Vegas Aviators games. What the box score says, what the Aviators say, and what pictures and video actually show you are a lot of times three totally different things. And the numbers always seem inflated. Now, I'm not here to say that the Aviators are not successful. Clearly they are. Their ballpark's beautiful. Haven't been there, but I've seen all the pictures and I've heard all the firsthand accounts. I'm not diminishing that. I'm just saying that they have a definite history of fudging the numbers to the point where, why would you do this to us? Why would you say there's 8,100, which by the way is a sellout, 8,100 seats, and then I can actually see photos and video where maybe there's 1,200 total people there? Where did everybody go? And if people paid for all those tickets, I guess that's fine, but usually the difference between paid and actual attendance is somewhat. It's not that much. You know what I'm saying? There is that discrepancy. And we would all understand, okay, is it 5 or 7,000? Doesn't matter. It's pretty close. But like 8,000 and 1,200, yeah, we've got to ask some questions about that. But I digress. The Athletics, however, would face unique challenges, starting with the fact that there's already a clear top MLB team in the market. Talking about Las Vegas, which they so desperately want. Brian Wiedewer located to Las Vegas as an adult from Valencia in 1994 after the Northridge earthquake. Nowadays, Wiedewer, a Dodgers fan, is Orel Hershiser's best friend. Imagine that. Business partner and next-door neighbor. It's a close connection. As a broker spokesperson in real estate, he has observed firsthand thousands of Southern Californians moving into the region annually. Quote, I'd say if the A's get here, in a lot of ways, there probably will be more people excited that the Dodgers come to play here than the fact that the A's are here, Wiedewer said. It'll do well, but we're not super off the wall like, oh my God, the A's are coming. End quote. Isn't that the exact excitement the A's and Major League Baseball should want and need to happen? There's this many people, like in Oakland, fighting for their team, trying to desperately keep their team. And here's a baseball fan in Las Vegas who says, it'll do well, but nobody's going off the wall for the A's. The fact that they're coming. Again, just one perspective, not every perspective, but it does seem like a majority perspective. Evidence of the Dodgers standing in the market is apparent at the Fashion Show Mall on the Las Vegas Strip. Up on the second floor in front of the Dick's Sporting Goods is one of the two Dodgers clubhouse stores located outside Southern California. The other one, by the way, is in Hawaii. It's in Honolulu. This one opened up a year ago after some prodding from Franklin McKesson, the store manager, who saw an opportunity after moving to Las Vegas from Los Angeles a year and a half ago. Quote, when the A's come here, you're not going to switch from Dodgers to A's, McKesson, who's 42, said. Quote, it's just not a thing. I think people underestimated how many former Californians are actually here in Vegas. It'll be decades before the A's can actually do what the Dodgers are doing here. End quote. That's said pretty confidently. Yes, that's coming from a Dodgers person, somebody who works at the Dodgers clubhouse store. I get all the connections. But that's somebody saying it confidently to the point that they're not really even worried about relocation of the A's because they still think the Dodgers are the dominant team in that market no matter what. AJ De Leana, a former assistant manager at that store, spent the first year of his life in Downey before his family moved to Las Vegas. There's a huge presence of Dodger blue in this city, De Leana said. And when/if the Oakland A's relocate here, when the Dodgers come to Vegas, it's going to be almost all Dodger blue in that stadium. End quote. One of the few people in the Athletics green and yellow. It's green and gold. I'll forgive you for that. By the way, the setting for some of these interviews is happening in a sports bar where people are watching that Dodgers playoff game. One of the few people in Athletics green and gold, should the franchise not rebrand, could be Kevin Hernandez. On Saturday, the A's fan quietly watched the Dodgers fall apart with a beer mug in front of him at La Katrina, the establishment. He had no rooting interest. His team, the A's, was eliminated from playoff contention a while ago. Quote, "When I first got here," Hernandez said, "I met a lot of Dodger fans, and they were like, 'You're the first A's fan I've ever met. I've never met an A's fan.'" Granted, the existence of A's fans in the Las Vegas market, why would there be any right now? You're starting from scratch, but you're not only starting from scratch, you're starting from the disadvantage that, yeah, the Dodgers are already way more popular than some say you'll ever be in the next handful of years. On paper, he'd be one of the residents thoroughly excited about the organization moving to Las Vegas, the A's. He's not. Quote, "It's unfortunate that they're moving," Hernandez said. And then here's a different quote from somebody else watching. "It's like 90% Dodgers fans here," Daniel Mendez said. "But we're happy Oakland is coming so we can get the Dodgers here." So there you go. I'm searching for new perspectives, people in Las Vegas, their viewpoints. Does this also mean that the Dodgers know about their fan base in Southern Nevada? And maybe they don't want a team encroaching on a territory that's not officially theirs, but kind of has unofficially been theirs for decades now. And every vote matters. How will the rest of the AL West and NL West be voting on this? A lot of factors go into potential result of a vote, but this is an interesting one. Jimmy Kimmel and others weighing in. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget, subscribe to this channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.